I'm Chris, back with another Rains review, this time on a 2020 Toyota Corolla Hybrid LE. Yep, I traded my RAV4 in this morning on the Toyota Corolla Hybrid. I had the fuel tank issue with my RAV4, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to trade it in for something that works, and this is what I got. I got it in blueprint, which is available on the RAV4 as well, and this Corolla gets 52 miles per gallon combined. That's 52 highway, 53 city. Look at this thing. So just to go over the rough dimensions of it and the different thoughts I have on it with comparing to the RAV4, this is actually almost an inch longer than the RAV4. Obviously it's shorter when it's only 3 inches narrower, but you really see that 3 inches in the interior. It's very noticeable in the front cabin. No, I don't feel like I'm squeezed in there, but I definitely don't feel like I have the room that I have in the RAV4, obviously. So this is a really interesting car. In 2020, which is what this model year is, Toyota decided, let's make the Corolla a hybrid. And everybody was like, okay. So it is the same exact power plant for the Prius, which actually gets better MPGs. I think its max is 58, and I'm not sure how that is achieved, but it is basically a sedan version of the Prius. So I started driving it today, and I thought, you know, I really wish there was a hatchback in the hybrid model, because you can only get this Corolla as a hybrid in the LE trim sedan model currently. But then I realized quickly that the Prius is the hatchback model of this Corolla. And I guess that's fine. A lot of reviewers have said that this beats the Prius, and I think that's because they like the traditional stance of the vehicle, they like the traditional cabin setup of the vehicle, and just the overall feel. It's a Corolla. You know what you're getting. If we could step in the vehicle really quick here. All right, we're inside. This is a 2020 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. You get an 8-inch touch display, much like my RAV4. And if I can turn it on here, push button start. You get automatic climate control with a digital readout. Here's that 8-inch display screen. You got the hybrid set up there. I'm getting 51.1 miles per gallon right now. Granted, I've only driven it about 45 miles, but that's pretty good. Here's one thing that I like over my RAV4. That is a tachometer. Now, if you know the RAV4 hybrid, you don't get a tachometer, you get a power meter. And I'm not sure what makes the difference here for why we don't get a power meter in the Corolla. Maybe it costs more to do that, but I actually would prefer the tachometer. Full tank of gas, everything looks a lot like my RAV4. Now there's 3 drive modes. You've got eco, regular, and power. So the RAV4 has regular, eco, and sport. This misses sport and exchanges it for power instead. I haven't yet to try that out, but I find the vehicle to be fairly zippy for what it is. It does have automatic headlights. It does not have heated seats. Got a piano black, which I don't know who said they liked this, but at least it doesn't show too many fingerprints on it. But why do we keep getting piano black? Console is small. Is this the Maroni? No. Let's see if the Maroni is in the glove box. If it is, it's well hidden. So let's just go with what we know. The RAV4 has Entune 3.0, so does the Corolla. The RAV4 has a digital display, so does the Corolla. The instrument panel on the steering wheel here. Obviously, Corolla and RAV4 share that. The console was narrow. You have front to back cup holders instead of side to side. You got rubber floor liners. You got my hat. The seats are cloth, but pretty much shaped the same as the RAV4. And overall, you get a decent vehicle. So I don't know why anybody wouldn't want this thing. I certainly like it. Let's do a quick little drive. There's the tripods I'm currently not using. So it does have the automatic park brake like my RAV4, and it's got brake hold there. It's got an EV mode, which you can see that on the dash. That's good for, you see the gas engine just turned off. It's nice and quiet in here. We don't need that right now. We'll go up the road. We're going to go up in power mode. It's an eCVT transmission, just like the RAV4 and the Prius. And let's go back to pricing. So pricing on this starts at a little shy of 24, and it goes up to probably only 25. You get Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, and because this only comes in the LE trim, you pretty much are paying $23,000 to $25,000. And the LE trim on the gas model is around $3,500 less. The LE trim on the gas model is around $3,500 less. So you're paying a $3,500 premium for the hybrid, and that's not terrible if you think about it, because we're getting 51.1 miles per gallon. That is coming from a 1.8 liter Atkinson cycle engine, and there's a car. The horsepower output on this 1.8 hybrid is 121 horsepower. The gas model is 139 horsepower. So you have an 18 horsepower difference. So for $3,500, you're getting 18 horsepower. You're getting some creature comforts for the digital display. You're getting, well, you can get rear cross traffic, but let's just mat it. Okay, so 0 to 60 is 10.7 seconds, but I actually find that surprising. That's only 50 right there, but it feels quicker to me than that. But maybe it's because I like the eCVT that Toyota uses better than I like the CVT in my Subaru Crosstrek. The CVT in that is completely different. The Toyota uses planetary gears. The power delivery is linear as still, but it's cleaner, it's smoother, it's better, and that's why I'm in a Toyota instead of a Subaru right now. There is wind noise, but this is an econo box. If you're trying to commute somewhere, buy this car. It is fantastic. Visibility is great, and that is also because the cabin is so large. We talk about the Prius with this Corolla a lot, and the Prius is just the hatchback version, really. You get way more space in the Prius, obviously, but this thing, if you want to haul 4 people comfortably, you can do that. Toyota knows what it's doing when it's building these cars, because it just takes the game plan from all the years prior where everything worked the way they wanted, and it builds upon that. Now you have Toyota as a brand kind of cannibalizing itself. Do you want a sedan or do you want a hatchback? Get the Prius or the Corolla. Do you want a luxury style SUV, or do you want an everyman SUV with a full range of basic commuter to adventure? Get the RAV4 or the Venza. The Venza and the RAV4 right now are cannibalizing each other. It's really interesting on how Toyota has decided to do this, but they do allow for some differences. For instance, the Highlander hybrid has a more powerful hybrid system than the RAV4 hybrid. And so people want the more powerful hybrid system in the RAV4 now to replace the V6 that we lost. The same argument could be made for this. Let's make it a hot hatch Corolla hybrid with the 2.4 from the RAV4 in it. Maybe that would be something that people would like. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, here we go. All right, just a short drive. It's kind of cold. I'm trying to do a quick review here. So once again, we'll run it down for you. It's 182 inches long. It's 70 inches wide. It's got about 106-inch wheelbase, which is very similar to the RAV4. So the footprint of it is very similar to the RAV4, but obviously it's shorter and there's a little bit less space inside, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. The seats are comfortable. There's a little bit of bolstering there. We're talking about a econo box though, an econo box. We're talking about a Corolla. 51.1 miles per gallon. Oh my gosh. I could have never imagined that we were getting that in a car. But this is great. And there have been reports of people hypermiling to 55, 60 miles per gallon in this thing. That would be wonderful. Not much else for me to say about this car. You're getting a standard speaker system, unfortunately. I think if Toyota gets enough interest in this vehicle, then yes, they will start expanding the trim models, because one trim really won't do much for you. No, I didn't trade my RAV4 in for it. The fuel issue is being resolved on my RAV4 today and tomorrow. So they gave me this as a loaner, and that's completely fine with me. This is a decent little car.